Hello, I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. So the last couple of videos I've made from this most excellent book. This is the book, The World's Greatest Letters. And this one will probably be the last one I do from the collection for a while. This one, though, it actually kind of caught me off guard, but it was kind of great to see. So this is a letter from Leonardo Da Vinci asking the Duke of Milan for a job. And so everyone pretty much knows who Leonardo da Vinci is. If you don't, task your education and find out why they didn't tell you about one of the most important people in recent history, recent being a couple hundred years ago. So he was born in 1452, a few miles from Florence. He made his life an epic, and his epic was a Renaissance, right? In the latest one, most authoritative biographical studies in the great Florentine Antonio Valentia has deflated the legend of a man who soared like a rocket amidst his contemporaries and has portrayed him instead as a human painfully groping his way out of darkness, struggling for light and life, dreaming vast dreams and seeing them one after another shattered. So even though he's one of the most famous men in art history and one of the most famous in the world, he struggled throughout life and was broke and could not find work. In accordance with the most modern scientific discoveries, Leonardo believed that all things were made of the same basic substance, and he, though, thought flying within one realm of human achievement and built a model of a flying machine. The perfection of his paintings and the vitality of his merest sketches, the range of his interests, with the copiousness of his writings, the balance and profundity of his thought, all have made him one of the legendary titans of all time. His lifelong motto, and his daily practice was obstinate rigor. So, obstinate rigor. Leonardo was 30 years old when, bored and in search of new fields to conquer, he quit his native Florence, and now under the Medici, left for Milan, flourishing under the rule of Lodovico Sforza. That's Sforza. It was to him that Leonardo addressed the letter seeking employment, and this is fantastic. So it's basically just a 2-page letter here to this lord of that area. Having the most illustrious lord seen and considered the experiments of all those who pose as masters in the art of inventing instruments of war, and finding that their inventions differ in no way from those in common use, I am emboldened, without prejudice to anyone, to solicit an appointment of acquaintance of your excellency within certain of my secrets. And then he has these things listed out numerically, 1 through 10. He says, I can construct bridges with very light and strong, yet very portable, with which such to pursue and defeat the enemy, and others more solid, which resist fire or assault, yet are easily removed and placed in a position. I can also burn and destroy those bridges of the enemy. So he's saying he could be a bridge builder. He can build some that are fantastic and used to pursue and defend against enemies. But if that job's not open, he can burn down bridges as well, which is fantastic. Number 2 on his list of his secrets and his talents is in case of siege, I can cut off water from the trenches and make pontoons, and I can make scaling ladders and other similar contrivances, or contributions, basically. So that was his second one. His third was, if by reason of the elevation or the strength of its position a place cannot be bombarded, I can demolish every fortress if its foundations have not been set in stone. He's talking about blasting to get underneath the stone. So he knows that as well. Number 4, he says, I can also make a kind of cannon, which is light and easy of transport, which can hurl small stones like hail, and which the smoke causes great terror to the enemy, so that they will suffer heavy loss and confusion. So at this period of time, there were warlords, and the world was at war where he lived. So he's using some very creative suggestions around his knowledge around war tactics. Number 5 is, he says he can noiselessly construct to any prescribed point a subterranean passage, either straight or winding, passing if necessary under trenches of the river. Number 6, he says, I can make armored wagons carrying artillery, which shall break through the most serried ranks of the enemy, and so open safe passage for his infantry. Number 7, he says, if occasion should arise, I can construct cannon and mortars and light ordnance in the shape of ornamental and useful and different things from those in common use, suggesting Troy, that he knows about the horse of Troy, and then maybe some of the useful things from Thermopylae. Then he says in 8, when it's impossible to use a cannon, I can supply their stead catapults, mangonels, and trebuchets, and other instruments of admirable efficiency not in general use. In short, as the occasion requires, I can supply an infinite means of attack and defense. So that's number 8. And number 9, this is Leonardo da Vinci, by the way, with all his knowledge and weapons of war and to make war. Number 9, he says, and if the fight should take place upon the sea, I can construct many engines most suitable for either attack or defense, and ships which can resist the fire of the heaviest cannon and the powders of weapons. And then he says in 10, in times of peace, I believe that I can give you as complete satisfaction as anyone else in the construction of buildings, both public and private, and in conducting water from one place to another. I can further execute sculpture in marble, bronze, or clay. Also in painting, I can do as much as anyone else, whoever he may be. Moreover, I would undertake the commission of the bronze horse, which I shall endure with immortal glory and eternal honor in the auspicious memory of your father and the illustrious house of Sforza. So that's one heck of a I need a job letter, right? And then he says, and if any of the aforesaid things should seem to anyone impossible or impractical, I offer myself as ready to make a trial of them in your park or whatever place should please your excellency, to whom I commend myself with all possible humility. What a letter. What a way to request a job. And it says, P.S. He got the job and he kept it for 16 years until the French invaded the city and captured his employer. Leonardo da Vinci died in France, prematurely old, at the age of 67 in 1519. And though hailed by later centuries as a universal genius, he felt like that his greatest schemes in science remained unrealized and that his quest for perfection in art was unsuccessful. Think about that type of humility. Da Vinci to the Duke of Milan. What a cool letter. So I'm Ben. If you like information such as these and videos such as these, please like and subscribe. Once again, that came from this book of World's Greatest Letters by Lincoln Schuster, or edited by Lincoln Schuster, rather. I think it's a pretty great series. I've read most of it now and put the best ones I thought that were of relevant impact on the channel. So look at those. There's 3 or 4 others on there now too, so take a look at those and look at the other reference books that we have here and the videos. If you like this, please subscribe, please share. I'm Ben. Be good.